Hello, Guardians. Welcome back to Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast. I am one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is the Jotun Toten, the Vault Dwelling, the Disciple, the Mayor of the Deepstone Crypt, shaved his face, favorite co-host on the Citadel, Josh Finney.
I did shave my face. I feel naked. The AC on my face was very cold. First time. It's still the first time I've fully shaven in 6 or 7 months, so it feels really weird to me. But Texas is currently experiencing record-breaking heat for this time of the year. We have already hit 100.
Nice.
And normally we don't hit that until mid-June.
Nice.
It was the hottest Mother's Day on record this past week. Every single day for the next 10 days will be record-breaking heat.
Nice.
Which is just absolutely wild. My utility bill is going to be astronomical, but you know what? I'm an adult. I have money. I will spend $15 extra on my AC.
You know what? That's fair.
I think that's a fair stance to take.
It is. It's not hot here today, Josh, but I did buy myself a Nintendo 64 controller for my Switch, so.
Did you manage to get in in the 3 seconds before it sold out?
Yeah, I got two. I got one for me and I got one for Stephanie. So, yeah, I got them. I didn't have any trouble.
I can't believe you didn't. I saw the meltdowns happen. There were so many different gaming related meltdowns happening this morning that I could not keep track of what everybody was upset about. And then I understood later on, there were some people on my timeline who were just upset about Nintendo 64 controllers. And I was like, I feel like that's the least significant thing that just happened here.
I don't know. Have you met Nintendo fans?
I know several of them quite well. I can only imagine how that must have gone for certain ones that we know.
Yeah. It's all right. I got a couple. We're good. We're good. I didn't I just saw Wario64 tweet him out, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll click on this and get some, and I did, and then everybody started freaking out, and I was like, oh, I wasn't aware this was a PS5 situation where these were going to be gone in 5 minutes. So.
It's just listen, if there's anything I've learned about stuff like that, it's I'll wait for the second or third time they come around, because by then everyone who wants to resell them is done because they've realized no one's going to pay for the price. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they're just stuck with N64 controllers.
Yeah. And I mean, I wanted to just because I'm OCD and have to have two of everything.
Yeah.
But then I saw some people they couldn't get them, so I told Stephanie that I got an extra one, and that I'll just get a second one on this next round whenever.
Yeah.
And not that I need to, but it's always weird when you just have one,
Always. It's weird. I used to be more OCD about it, and now it's just unless it's for my Xbox, I'm really not concerned about it. I do have a couple pairs of Switch Joy-Cons, but I'm I've never felt the need to get a second Pro controller, never felt the need to I have a bunch of Xbox controllers, but that's because I display them. Mm-hmm. I've never felt the need to get another PS5 controller.
See,
I can't do it.
I have 3 Switch Pro controllers, and it really bothers me that I don't have. It really bothers me that I don't have a fourth one.
So you have the standard, you have the Monster Hunter, and the Xenoblade Chronicles ones, right?
No, I just have 2 standard ones and a Xenoblade. So, because when I got the Switch, I got 2 Pro controllers with my Switch. So I'm I'm not going to put the Joy-Cons in that stupid slider thing. Have you ever done that? No, it's stupid.
I've done it. I did not like it.
No. And I'm who wants to do that? And then obviously the Xenoblade one was cool looking, so I bought it. Not realizing I probably should have kept it sealed in a box and sold it, now. That's fine.
Yeah, you know what? You live and learn.
Yeah. It's fair.
But Corey, we've got Destiny to talk about.
We do. We have Destiny to talk about. We always have Destiny to talk about.
We always have Destiny to talk about. The TWAB this week is basically all PvP. It's not what we were kind of expecting. We were all kind of manifesting Solar 3.0, and at this point, I'm half convinced that they're just gonna launch the season without telling us anything and leave us to discover it, which I would almost like.
It'll be in that Thursday TWAB after the season launches.
Oh my god, could you imagine? I got the feeling when I saw that Dylan was still going to be out this week. I was like, oh, there's no way they're putting out the Solar 3.0 update this week. Mm-hmm. There's just no way. I'm actually shocked that we got as much as we did regarding Crucible. But when you open up the TWAB and you look at that image, the image right there is the new Crucible map.
Yeah.
That is the new Crucible map right there. It is set in Savathun's throne world, probably around like the City of Darkness that we go to in the Strike. Ooh, that is a gorgeous map.
That's a cool looking map.
I love the map here. I'm very, very stoked. But of course, any change to the Crucible has to start with the Iron Banner. Iron Banner is where everything has to start. We know this is all going to it started with Trials of Osiris back in Season of the Lost. We're moving to Iron Banner now, and this will culminate with changes to the Glory playlist and Survival in Season 19. So 2 more seasons. Season 19 is when it's all getting changed, which should be... What? Yes, the final season of this year, because they probably want to iron out I had to do the math in my head real quick. They will probably want to get that ironed out before Lightfall. But I love what Alan Blaine says right here. He's the principal designer, and I like that he kind of explains the philosophy behind Iron Banner. When they were looking first, the newly formed Rituals team to focus on and make an impact, we aimed at refreshing Iron Banner. Then the first Hake Casino weekend happened. If you don't know what that is, that's when everybody put on the Hake emblems and just took turns jumping off the map to win trials matches. That is what that was. So they had to revamp trials first instead, which led to the Season of the Lost revamp. 9 months later, we finally have Iron Banner. I do not envy them having to make that choice, because Iron Banner is something that needed reworked very badly, but Trials literally was dead. There was no point to playing Trials. They had to do something.
Yeah.
It was a real lose-lose situation, right? Like, I think a lot of the more casual players like us can look at this and go, man, and my initial thought reading this was, God, I really wish you would have fixed Iron Banner first.
Yeah.
I feel like that was ultimately an easier change, but I do think that the changes that were done to Trials really influenced what the team went and did with Iron Banner.
Yeah.
So I like this. Iron Banner is a celebration of PvP for everyone. We want people playing every day, playing with their friends, wearing flaming Iron Banner armor, and using the weapons. When you land at a tower, we want it to feel different and special, such as the Dawning or Festival of the Lost. It's one of the core entry points for adding new and different ideas to the Crucible. We love the hunt aspect of Control, even if it has snowballing issues. What if we did the same thing with other modes, and what if we add new modes? And so he's talking about kind of the philosophies behind the Iron Banner here, right? Lower barriers and widen the funnel for players. This is one of the big things that we've been asking for, okay? These few things that Alan is going to break down right here. Everyone should be able to play Iron Banner and access the core reward paths, new lights, and Destiny 1 alpha veterans alike. We want core rewards focused on team play and participation, not just winning matches and skillful play. Those should accelerate rewards rather than lock them off. Here's what's up next.
I'm so excited for this next paragraph.
When you land in the tower for Season 17 for Iron Banner, you'll notice something new. What's the music? It's Brachus Forge. Upon landing, you will see players clustered up around the same area where Christmas Grandma, I love that they call her Space Grandma here.
Yeah.
Because that's what we've been calling her for years.
I know.
But instead of the usual
Who wrote
festive
this, though?
decorations, it's all...
what? Hippie wrote this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she's been part of the community that's calling her grandma for years, too. So, I mean...
Oh, yeah. This is fantastic. It's just, I think John and I just call her Christmas Grandma year-round now.
Yeah.
We were calling her Grandma, and then we just adopted Christmas Grandma at some point, like 2 years ago, and it just kind of stuck. Every time, do we got to go talk to Eva? Who's Eva? Oh, Christmas Grandma. Yeah. That's who we're talking to. It's all smoke and fire. Guardians gather around in all manner of flaming armor, and in the middle stands Brachus Forge. These next 2 paragraphs really excite me. So I want to get through all this so we can talk about the philosophy behind Iron Banner before we move on to rewards. But power level in PvP has been confusing to new players, and it's quite different than normal Crucible. We want to open the mode to more players, so power level is now disabled in Iron Banner. Yes.
Wait, wasn't that the complaint? I no longer
have to be concerned when I see a 1350 teammate.
Was that not the? I'm confused because wasn't that the complaint when Iron Banner came back? Is that there was no power level?
Yes,
and now people are happy.
You have to remember when Iron Banner came back, we had no trials and no glory playlist either. Iron Banner basically was comp.
It's fair, I guess.
I agree with the philosophy. And this is why I want to have the discussion. So pause before we go to the next item here, because that's going to be a point of discussion too. Let's talk power level for a minute.
Okay.
Because I've really come down on the side the last couple of seasons that before I was like, nah, you need to have power level enabled. And I would just like slightly cringe whenever we'd be in like a 6-stack and one or two lower level players who were just getting back to the game were being encouraged, like, hey, come play Iron Banner with us. And it's like, no, please don't play Iron Banner with us. I want to win. Mm-hmm. Like, you guys are going to be farmed for easy kills. Like, y'all will die very fast. I was playing Iron Banner the other day, for instance. Tuesday afternoon, Iron Banner goes live. Me, A1 Johnny, our buddy Phil, we're running around with our friend, with one of our friends, and we get to this point, and our friend Haley is like 14-12 or something, and the guy that I'm fighting against was 1350. He was level 1 in the season pass. I kid you not, 3 bullets from an auto rifle killed this guy. Like, there was no line of defense there, and I'm running around like 1570. Like, I don't 1570, 1580. I don't know what my max light is now. Like, I'm running around with some absurd power boost and feeling bad that I'm just torturing this poor Guardian. I think that light level needs to be removed because, yes, I know that Trials also has amazing weapons and really cool armor. That stuff is here for a full year. Like, Iron Banner should be a mode all can embrace and have fun in. Yes, I understand it's supposed to have a bit more of a challenge, but listen, if you want to go play a mode where power is enabled and you have to swing your giant, Guardian schlong around, go play Survival, go play Trials. Sorry, I hope that the comp revamp in 2 seasons brings you what you want. But Iron Banner, when it is something that is promoted as heavily as it is in-game, needs... And it looks like an event every time it's there. Giant flaming shield in the tower. Like, you have these weekly bounties to go do. It only shows up 3 times a season. It should be an event to be celebrated. It shouldn't be something where, if you're playing, you're actively being a detriment to your team. Yep. If you're not, like, the max light level. Mm-hmm. Now, the meme I saw going around today was Mountaintop and Revoker want to know your location. I absolutely expect this. And I was talking to John about this earlier, and he says, we don't see it in Control or in Momentum or anything like that, so I'm not really that worried about it. I was like, those are more casual modes, though. Like, when people want to win, they're going to put that shit on. Mm-hmm. So I would not be shocked to see vaulted weapons not necessarily make a huge comeback, but definitely make some sort of a comeback.
Yeah.
In Iron Banner, especially if it's ever, and we'll get to this in a minute, but they talk later on about wanting to rotate the mode every season. If we ever get to Iron Banner momentum control, that is going to be the wildest thing I've ever seen. It's going to be just Mountaintop and Recluse everywhere. And you know who's going to lead the charge? Me. I'm going to be running around with that stuff. I have zero shame. I will be doing it. Catch me outside, running my blast furnace, which I still bust that and Bygones out in regular momentum control just for fun. Yeah. And people are like, what the fuck? What did he just kill me with? I killed you with a gun from 4 years ago that's long since been vaulted. But I don't know. I like this. I think that the majority of PvP should be open to everyone. You still have 2 playlists. Granted, one of them has no rewards in it, but you still have 2 playlists with, at least in Trials, awesome rewards. You have great rewards. I would definitely say the guns in Trials are better than, on average, than what we get in Iron Banner.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the armor, I think, has looked better in Trials for the last couple of seasons than it has in Iron Banner.
Dude, the Iron Banner armor...
You don't look looking like you belong in The Little Mermaid 2.
Oh man, I love it. I love my fishnet crotch cover. Just saying.
Do you clip that out as an audio clip? I'm gonna make that my new text alert. I love being in fishnet crotch coverings. Just like have everyone stare at me like, well, what?
Somebody from work saw the Tower Casuals tweet out
oh no!
Yeah, they were like, what is that? What does that even mean? I'm like, it's part of the show. You'll just let it go. It's fine.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm glad I've never had to explain any of my off-kilter remarks on a podcast. Here's the next paragraph. This is what made, I think, just everybody pretty much universally seem excited about this. I don't actually remember this mode a whole lot from Destiny 1, if we're being completely honest. I did not play a ton of Crucible in D1, outside of, like, Control.
Yeah.
But having Iron Banner be Control the last few years has gotten stale. So for Season 17, we're bringing back an old favorite, Rift. And they're going to talk about this later on. Our intention is to switch out the Iron Banner mode every season. Sometimes it might be a brand new or returning mode. Sometimes it might be an interesting twist on an existing mode.
I can't wait till it's Supremacy.
It's got to change every season. I remember in, I think it was in Destiny when we had Iron Banner Mayhem once. And that was wild. That was absolutely wild. It's the most fun I've ever had in an Iron Banner. And like I was saying, momentum control, like Iron Banner SWAT, essentially, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that I want. I want something different. Like, I don't mind Iron Banner Control. It's just, I play Control every single week in my regular playlist. It's the default mode. I think it's time to put Control into the rotator and like, oh, it'll come up a couple times a season. Make Momentum the default mode for a season or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
or Zone Control. They're going to talk about later. Zone Control is coming back. Bring that up.
Rift is cool. I think it's a good mode to bring back for a mix of like, oh well, we want newer players to play this, but also it has that competitive edge. It's basically capture the flag, essentially. There's like a glowing orb somewhere, and you have to run it back to your base.
Yeah. It's basically Destiny capture the flag with a typical Destiny twist. You get a little bit more powerful after the first few seconds. Only your team can see. Whoever is holding the rift, only their teammates can see that. You can revive each other. I'm here for it. Zone Control is detailed. It's coming back later on. And for those who don't remember, Zone Control is where you, in Destiny 1 at least, you scored 10 points every 5 seconds. I don't remember what the exact limit was, the score limit, but that's what it was. You do not get points for kills, assists, or capturing or defending points. It's just for whatever ones you control. I remember or I guess it was in D2. I guess it was also in D2 at one point. I remember really liking this mode, though, because I like to just go sit in zones and defend them against an onslaught. I remember rather liking Zone Control, so I'm very here for this. I think that as Iron Banner is going to be a ton of fun, because people who do not like objectives are going to hate that. They're going to hate Rift. Like, they're going to force you to play objectives, and that's one thing I do like about Iron Banner is people actually play the objective most of the time.
Yeah.
So I am absolutely 100% on board with this. Let's talk rewards real quickly. So, Iron Banner tokens will be removed starting in Season 17, and those will be replaced by a similar ranking system like Saint and Shaxx. Earn Iron Engrams while ranking up and unlock cosmetic rewards and materials for your time playing. It's not just a reward track that's changing, though. Saladin is also getting a full focusing implementation as well. You'll be able to convert Iron Engrams into any current Iron Banner weapon or armor set that have been earned previously for a cost with in-game materials. In future seasons, we'll be looking at adding more, including Legacy, Iron Banner gear, and cosmetics. I love hearing that. That is the biggest change that needs to be made to some of these vendors is, let me earn the Legacy cosmetics. I didn't play Crucible during Black Armory. Let me get the stupid shader.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we really earning from gatekeeping that for 3 years? Right? Like, there is nothing to be gained. Just let me get the shader. It really bothers me when I see, like, a couple random ones that I missed because, I didn't have anyone to play with during that season, and it was before I, like, had found a group to play with, so I missed out on getting some of these cosmetics.
Right.
And that's just the completionist in me. You can keep the Vanguard ones, though. I look like a traffic cone already. Here's how revamped Iron Banner rep will work. Play matches, with each match earning more towards your total reputation. Win matches to earn a small bonus based on your current rank. Wear Iron Banner armor or ornaments on your own non-Iron Banner gear. I think this is a key one. And equip Iron Banner weapons to max out your gear multiplier at 200%. 5 total pieces must be equipped. Please remember this includes Iron Banner armor and ornaments. Complete daily challenges to tack on 100% to your challenge multiplier for the rest of the week. Yes, this means for each challenge. Use an Iron Banner emblem for an additional 10% emblem modifier. This is very similar to Iron Banner in Destiny 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where you got bonuses for the emblem, the shader, and the class item.
Mm-hmm.
This is very similar to that, except there are more opportunities to stack more and more of these bonuses.
Yeah.
Which means the faster you do that, the faster you're going to be resetting. Because here's the kicker. We'll talk, I don't know where this is listed at in the TWAB. I think it's a little bit further down. We will only get Iron Banner twice this next season.
Yeah.
So you got to make the most of it during those 2 weeks. Like, I will not be able to play an awful lot. I'll be able to play during the first week. But, like, my birthday falls that weekend of the first Iron Banner.
Yeah.
So I'll be playing again in July and hoping that I have time in July to play it.
Right.
That I can get to it. If not, I'll be stocking up on those legacy cosmetics later on. They included a few images here, though, which I really like. The rules for Rift are there, and then next to it, it tells you how many challenges you've completed, your total multiplier, your gear equipped, and your emblem. And it shows you what that's going to look like on that screen. So you can always tell. And I love seeing that. That is a much appreciated change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool.
Let's talk about this. Daily challenges. For the first 4 days of each Iron Banner week, Guardians will unlock a new daily challenge. These challenges unlock each day, whether you complete them or not. So if you log in on Friday, you can do them all in succession if you want to. Rewards will also stack reputation bonuses for the remainder of the week alongside a Pinnacle Iron Ingram. The weekly bounties that typically award Pinnacles have been deprecated appropriately to balance out this challenge. So, okay, it's not going to be a reliable source of a ton of Pinnacles anymore, but you should still, if it's like it is when you level up at other vendors, you will still get them for each major rank up through your first reset. Cool. I'm here for it. Those are going to award Iron Banner gear. I love it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Big breath from Josh.
This may be big breath. This may be my favorite change of all this stuff. It's something that Johnny and I have been asking for literally years now, and they're finally doing it. It's not easy being an Iron Lord, so there should be something a little extra spicy to reflect the hard work. With these new Iron Banner reworkings, a new seal and title will also be available to earn. Don't expect this one to be simple or an easy grab. Becoming an Iron Lord is no joke. It requires dedication, gumption, and some spiffy gear. To set expectations for the new seal and title, Iron Lord hopefuls can expect to spend around 15 to 20 hours to unlock this flare. Some of the more hardcore players could unlock this in 1 week of focus, but we expect most players to need a second week, maybe even a second season. Intrepid Iron Lords will be able to gild the title in Season 18.
Ooh.
I'll say this right now, for anybody who unlocks it and does not want their seal, their physical seal, I will buy it off you. I will 100% buy this off you if I do not get this done by the end of my season. I'll 100% buy it off you. The offer stands. I'll do it. Don't push me. Don't tempt me. The offer stands. Becoming a young wolf. A new quest, who this? For anyone who may be scratching their head at some of these changes, Lord Saladin will offer a brand new quest that will introduce all these features and demonstrate how they work. You only have to run through it once per account, but with this reset, we wanted everyone to get the same introduction. Even Iron Banner veterans will need to do this. In fact, you'll need to start this quest to even access Iron Banner. To even have to change into the welcome to the new quest, we will no longer be producing the seasonal Iron Banner quest. Which brings us to our next point. So first off, thank God that seasonal quest is gone.
Dude, the seasonal quest sucked. I'm sorry.
The seasonal quest fucking sucks, okay? When you have to go get 20 hand cannon kills, when you don't use hand cannon, get 15 sniper kills, get 10 heavy kills.
Yeah, usually when the sniper step became involved, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, at that point, I just had to throw a couple matches, and I was not thrilled. At least with the hand cannon, you can run around with Crimson.
Yeah.
It's basically a sawed-off pulse rifle.
Yeah.
I love this. Saladin hangs his out to lunch, be back in 15 minutes sign. Due to his increased responsibilities on the War Council, he now runs Iron Banner in the tower just twice a season. Iron Banner will be more in line with those annual events. You will never see Iron Banner run during annual festivities. So I take that to mean we will not see it during Solstice or Dawning or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
For Season 17, Iron Banner will run during these times. Week 2 and Week 8, which start on May 31st and July 12th, respectively.
No juice.
I'm okay with this, but those are 2 extremely busy weeks for me.
Yeah.
I do like that it's only 2 because I'll be honest, I usually don't play by the 3rd week. I usually don't care. I finish my Iron Banner quest in like the first 2 days and, get a couple drops of the gear. And I'm like, well, what do I do during Iron Banner week now? I don't need pinnacles as we push farther into the season. And I have like 3,000 tokens to turn in before he leaves on Monday. So
Yeah, you better get on that.
Yeah.
Because
I'm literally going to do it just for the Banshee rep at this point. I'm so close to that stupid golf ball. Rift is back. If you're like us, Rift has a very special place in the PvP playing heart of yours. We're excited to bring back the staple, but for those who may be new to this, here's what you need to know. Rift is an objective-based crucible mode that plays more like a game of soccer or rugby, but with pew-pew weapons and no passing. And it does clash. Teams of Guardian will attempt to take the spark from the middle of the map into the base of the enemy team and dunk it into the rift. 1 dunk equals 1 point. The first to make it to 5 points or have the upper hand by the 10-minute mark wins. There are rules to this. You guys have fun reading those. I don't think I need to give us the play-by-play of the rules for Rift.
No. I mean, basically, if you don't do it under a timer, your bomb will blow up. Like, the Rift is like a bomb, and it'll blow up, and you'll die. So, have fun. Run.
Yeah, have fun. It plays so very differently than anything we have in the Crucible right now. It's available during the 2 weeks of Iron Banner and will be available as a rotator in the main Crucible playlist in Season 18. But in addition to Rift's triumphant return, we also created a brand new map specifically designed for this game mode. It's one of our largest maps yet, but features areas that are made for different combat styles, particularly short, mid, and long-range combat. The map is called Disjunction and is a symmetric map with a base on either end, 3 lanes with plenty of crossovers and large backfields. It takes place in the swampy pyramid area of Savathun's Throne World, so expect lots of many butted horses, transparent brown glass, and Art Deco designs. Again, this is the image at the top of the header. In the header, they give you the full image here. This is really cool looking. It looks like it's straight out of Birthplace of the Vile, or straight out of like the wall surrounding as you approach the pyramid. This is really cool. It looks like it could be straight out of the intro to the raid.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I like that they clarify this here. Disjunction will be available on day 1 of Season 17 for all 6v6, 3v3, and free-for-all modes in Crucible, as well as an Iron Banner. That screams to me this is going to be a Trials map.
Yeah. This is definitely going to be a Trials map at some point.
Yeah. I can't imagine making a new map and not doing it.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, that is not all.
Ooh.
We have other Crucible changes coming. Whew! Season 17 is also bringing back zone control to the Crucible. For anyone who might not be familiar, it's a 6v6 mode like control, only that Guardians don't get aim points for kills, because sometimes matching with random players can result in disjointed team play that can obscure objective focus. To keep all eyes on the objective, players will get points every 15 seconds for every zone that is in their control, so it is very much more diving into a defensive area control game that will allow players to highlight various skill and abilities, rather than just focusing on landing that headshot. Each waypoint has a timer that shows when points are being awarded, in addition to which team currently owns it. Because it's a team effort, solo capping takes 22.5 seconds, versus having a full fire team playing together can cap a zone in 7.5 seconds. Cap all zones and dramatic music will intensify. I love zone control.
Yeah, it's
zone
a cool
control
mode.
Is wild. I like playing the objective, though.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not good at shooting things and going pew pew bang bang. I really like playing objectives.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer the objective modes over just like team deathmatch or whatever, right? I mean,
unless it's momentum control.
Yeah,
well, I do truly love me some momentum control.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're just going into the Crucible, right? I would rather play those like the objective based modes, unless I'm going in with a group of friends, like really trying to win, you know?
Yeah. I agree. In addition to what's new, we are also making some tuning changes. Oh, excuse me.
Ooh.
Hang on. We're actually I skipped the entire paragraph here. Zone control will be launched via a new Crucible Labs node starting in week 5, which starts on June 21st, and will be available until the end of the season with the exception of when Iron Banner is live. I am very excited to see how this goes. I will be playing a lot of zone control in Trials Labs, Crucible Labs. Mm-hmm. I like zone control. I cannot wait to see this come into the game full time.
Yeah.
In addition to what's new, we're also making tuning changes to various existing Crucible modes. Control. The team gains 1 point per participant when capturing a zone rather than one flat point, as it was in Destiny 1. I really cannot believe it took us 5 years to get to this point, but here we are.
Here we are.
We are approaching year 6 of Destiny 2, and we are finally getting this change. That is fucking wild. It was fucking wild that it took this long.
Well, it took us 2 years to get away from 4v4, though, so,
I mean, I'll take what I can get, but ridiculous. Elimination. Time limit is lowered to 90 seconds to match Trials of Osiris. Good. Mayhem. Points for super kills increased to 3 instead of 2. Ooh. The score target has been raised from 150 to 200, and the time limit has been decreased from 8 minutes to 7 minutes.
Ooh.
Great. I love Mayhem. Rumble increased the time limit to 10 minutes from 8, and Showdown increased round score targets to 15. It was 10. We are almost at the end of all these changes.
Are you sure?
Yep. We're moving out of the Crucible and into Gambit.
Oh, God. More Gambit.
Dude, I played the absolute least amount of Gambit I've ever played this season, and I still feel like I played too much.
I was playing Gambit last week with Mitch, our friend Mitch, and he we were playing. We were like, yeah, we should probably do it just to get the Pinnacle or whatever. We couldn't even finish because it was so bad. Like, we played 2 matches, and I think you need to play 4 for the Pinnacle, and we were like, nah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, I'm just I like getting all the cosmetics in a season, and I'm staring at this Drifter Ghost projection, knowing I'll probably never use it, but I really want it just because I can have it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 3 ranks away from it. I'm really debating how much Gambit I want to play these last 2 weeks.
I don't think you want to play that much Gambit.
I don't think I want to play that much Gambit. No, it was enough of a slog just to get the shader. So yeah. I don't know if I can endure this. The Gambit ornament, spoilers, is something I absolutely skipped for my seasonal challenges. I played comp over doing this. I played comp in Crucible over choosing to go and earn the Gambit one. I
mean, that tells you
something,
like
Gambit, right? Hats off to you if you enjoy Gambit. No disrespect intended, not trying to be rude, but man, if there's one glaring spot, PvP has obviously needed love for a long time, but I don't even know if Gambit is able to be saved at this point. I'd almost rather the resources like, cool, if you're going to fix it, pull it out of the game altogether, give it a dedicated team, let everyone else just work on making Strikes and Crucible the best they can possibly be right now.
Right. Just vault it at this point. And
I mean, vault it and work on it.
Yeah.
Have a team kind of working on it passively, and then bring it back in like a year or so. There is no shame. I understand. Like, you want to keep three rotational activities, or three ritual activities, as we call them. Trials obviously cannot step in as one. Iron Banner cannot step in as one. Maybe just embrace the seasonal stuff as one for a while.
Right.
I don't know. I really don't know what else to tell you. It's just like something has to go by the wayside eventually for me to enjoy the game. And Gambit, when I don't play Gambit, I enjoy the game significantly more.
Yeah.
What I don't get are the people who are like, oh, Gambit sucks, but oh my god, PvP sucks. Like, man, listen, maybe just playing against other players is not, or playing objectives is not for you.
Right.
And there is no shame in that.
Mm-hmm.
But not everything is busted just because you're not having a fun time. Like that, I think part of that is just your attitude.
Right.
Like, your attitude can make a huge difference. And that's not me excusing the problems that PvP and Gambit clearly have. I do not have fun playing Gambit, no matter if I'm with friends or not, so I do not engage with the mode. I have fun in the Crucible, even if I'm losing, because I'm with my buddies. I'm with my friends. When we get a 6-stack in there on a Friday night during Iron Banner, like we're probably going to tomorrow, that is a blast. I love doing that. I'm going to have so much fun doing that in Rift. Or, if Zone Control is it next season, or Momentum Control, or God heaven help us, when Mayhem happens, that's when I'm gilding the title, because I love Mayhem so much. You will catch me in there every single day of Iron Banner when Mayhem is finally it.
Yeah.
But these all feel like, at the same time, I'm hesitant to heap too much praise on Bungie right now, because these are changes that should have been enacted years ago. Yeah. And I can't believe it really took us this long to get to this point.
Yeah.
Which really begs the question of, wow, they really, those are clearly the teams that they had to staff up, was Crucible and Rituals. Because man, it is abundantly clear that all of the resources just went into the end game into the story, into building the Witch Queen campaign, into building the seasonal stuff, the seasonal arenas, and then to doing raids and dungeons to guarantee us a raid in a dungeon every single season. And I've always said, like, I will take that material over PvP, but now that we got all that straightened out, it was time to staff up on PvP. And I can only hope that this is just the beginning and we can get to a point where we're getting like maybe one new map and one unvaulted one every season. I hope is the cadence we can get to. Developing new maps and modes takes time. I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't. It's not like in the heyday of Halo. I've seen people point out like, oh my God, Bungie used to make so many maps for Halo. Certain Affinity made so many of those maps, guys. I really hate to break it to you. Like, Certain Affinity did all of those as a support studio. They continue to do them into Halo 4 or 5. They're working on them with Infinite. They're working on a Battle Royale. Like, they hire external studios to do this. Bungie is trying to do it all in-house. They don't have, like they did at the beginning of D2 and during D1, they don't have Vicarious Visions to help anymore. You know, they don't have those support studios from Activision. And that has been very noticeable, particularly when it comes to the Crucible. I think if they still had those, one of those would have been like, you are only making PvP stuff. You are working on fixing Gambit. Go.
Right. Yeah.
We want to handle the stuff that, you know, the vast majority of the player base is buying the game for, and then they're going to fan out to your modes after a week or so.
Yeah.
So we got to have the pinnacle story content and the raids and the dungeons, stuff like that. We need you guys to work on the stuff that is going to be here for the long term. So it's got to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like, I don't know if the solution is, you know, partner with their studio. I'm really hoping that with them being acquired by Sony, maybe that'll help, like, you get some more resources in, or like, hey, maybe, SIE has an internal studio that just helps with building assets, polishing, and things like that. Like,
yeah,
maybe some of them can be diverted.
Yeah, I mean that they were originally like put on the help with the Last of Us remake, the rumored Last of Us.
They were
remake,
heading
right?
the project.
Yeah,
that studio was developing it themselves to prove they can make their own game.
Yeah,
and Sony just kind of handed that to Naughty Dog, from what we heard.
Yeah.
And we, of course, this is all hearsay. We don't know if it's real or not. Maybe you take some of them, like even like 50 of them, because that's supposedly a studio of like hundreds of people. Maybe you can divert some of them to say, hey, we really need you guys to help with, we know one of the problems is the optimization of the old maps into the new engine.
Yeah.
You guys we're going to take some of the engineers, and hey, Bungie is sharing some resources with us to help us build live service games. We're going to share some of our people to help them get their game fully optimized.
Right. I mean, they could serve that role that High Moon originally was, right? And
yeah,
part of
absolutely.
Vicarious Visions, right? I mean, they could totally fill that role.
Yeah. So that soliloquy aside, let's talk a little bit of Gambit here. Gambit matches are taking 60 seconds longer per match than the Beyond Light version, while still being a few minutes shorter than either Forsaken era Gambit or Gambit Prime. Reputation gain rate has dropped behind both Crucible and Vanguard, so we're bringing some adjustments in.
Great.
Base reputation gain for a match is up from 50 to 75. We've also increased the value of each streak to 20, up from 15. This increases the top-end reputation gain, a win on a 5 streak during Mythic Legend ranks, to 250 a match, up from 200, and on the low end, a loss with no streak to 75, up from 50. Gain should be around 25% faster just from this change. I cannot tell you how this is not enough. I cannot emphasize enough how this is not enough of a change. Who is playing Gambit for 5 matches in a row to get the maximum streak and winning at that? Like, who is actually doing that?
Nobody's. I only hear.
Who is resetting this twice?
Who's playing Gambit that much? First of all, the only time I ever play Gambit is when it's the beginning of like a season and I need to get the pinnacle.
Yep. I play enough to get my shader, and then I bow out.
I don't have enough time to...
The ornaments, when they were a quest, and this just reinforces, the ornaments need to be quest objectives. They do not need to be in the rewards track for 2 resets. You cannot expect us to do that and want to participate in the new Iron Banner and participate in trials and in seasonal activities and the storylines. Like, there is not enough time.
Yeah.
This is a game that you guys have billed as, like, we don't want this to be like the only game that you play. We want this to be your main game, but not your only game.
Right.
Y'all are making it really hard the way that you've structured some of these rewards. And, like, I get it. Those are there for the hardest of the hardcore players. I totally understand that. They've got to be a little bit more obtainable because you took a very obtainable way to earn these and made them a real pain in the ass. Because, like, for example, John is running into the problem where he doesn't earn the Vanguard ornament half the time because he spends so much time working on GMs and he only gets the credit for finishing the GM. You'll get credit for all the failed runs.
Right.
That's wild. That's absolutely wild to me that it takes so long. But there are some reputation streak balancings across the board, which I'm going to attempt to discuss this because this is just very weirdly worded. Ritual reputation streak balancing. The activity streak now takes the sum of streak values across the 4 reputations, Crucible, Gambit, Strikes, and Dares, and adjusts them to a maximum of 5 total. If you complete a match that would bring the sum of these over 5, it subtracts a point from the streak of every ritual besides the one you just played. More importantly, entering any non-ritual activity has no effect. Great. I love to be able to run to Zur or to, like, go do something in the throne world real fast without losing my streaks.
Right.
Because that's terrible.
Yeah, I hated doing
that.
It's
so stupid.
I hate doing that. Like I want to be able to go do something and then come back, right? Like I don't understand why that streak went away.
Let's break this down. Yeah. So, as an example, you play 5 Crucible matches. You have an activity streak value of Crucible at 5. Let's say you leave to play a Gambit match. You now have Gambit streak of 1, Crucible of 4. You can go back to the Crucible and still have a 4 streak. You play 2 more Gambit matches. I don't know why you would, but you decided to. You're now at Gambit 3, Crucible 2. Let's say you play a Strike. You now have Vanguard 1, Crucible 1, Gambit 2, and so on and so forth. I do think that this is probably going to confuse... If newer players were to look at this, they'd probably be a little confused. It's going to make sense within the context of the game. It's just one of the things that looks really weird on paper, I think.
Yeah.
And to hear, like, us talk about, but you'll notice it, which is great, because I can't tell you how many times we've sat there and we've, like, really just beat our head against the wall, you know, playing a lot of Crucible, and then, we had a couple of people drop. Hey, let's go get a Gambit match or 2, and since we still got 4 people, or, let's go try and bang out this Grandmaster, but we're going to preserve our streak during, like, double infamy week. Like, we worked really hard to get that streak.
Right.
We want to break off and try a Grandmaster or go do, like, a Legend Nightfall, and then, we're going to run back and do more Gambit later on.
Right.
Again, don't know why you would do that, but that's the scenario in which I see this happening.
Right.
You know, or, so-and-so just hopped on. I'm going to hop out of my freelance Trials run, and I'm going to go do a Legend Psyops with John and Max. And then, we got that done? Cool. I can run straight on back with no penalty whatsoever. Like, that's the kind of stuff I want to see, especially for these double XP weeks.
Right.
You know, like, sometimes you just need a break, or, you know, you're like, I'm going to go do something else, or I need to go run some Lost Sectors when I wake up in the morning, you know, before I jump into more Crucible during Iron Banner week.
Right.
I don't know. Like, these are all just hypothetical scenarios, and I think this is a really good change overall, even if it is a little bit confusing to look at on paper.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Grandmaster rejoin. Exciting news, aka all you Alaskans. Conquerors with bad connections. Starting in Season 17, if you error coded out of a non-match-made Nightfall at any level, you will now rejoin after login. While in this state, you will not be able to change builds or equipment in the game, app, or any third-party websites. Awesome. I have been screwed so many times when we've been getting to the end of an activity and I've gotten bounced.
Because your internet's so great.
I cannot tell you how annoying that is. What?
Said because your internet's so great.
Dude, I'm so mad. We had a power surge earlier today, and I was like, God, I hope it just fried the router, honestly.
Side tangent.
I was prepared to do this episode in the parking lot of a Starbucks.
Before we started recording, Josh couldn't see me or this timer in the top of the corner of the call.
I was so mad. It's a combination of my internet and the fact that my laptop is from, like, 2014.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Oh my God. Here's a change that I was not jazzed about. This is the last change we have to talk about. I think this is actually kind of bullshit. I cannot imagine anybody actually thinking this is a cool idea. Eververse changes. Man, in seasons... I got real concerned here for a second. In Season 17, Brightest acquisition from bounties and challenges will be the same as Season 16, but we are adding a voluntary option for rank purchases. Much like in Season 16, rank purchasing will be available starting in Week 3. We will also be offering a new rank package that includes 10 season ranks that you can purchase once a season. Available in the Eververse Seasons tab on the first day of Season 17, there will be the option of the Season Pass plus 10 ranks for 2,000 silver, or the standalone 10 season ranks for 1,000 silver if you already have the season. This is fucking bullshit. 10 levels in the Season Pass is nothing.
Yeah, I know.
I want to put this in. I want to put this into perspective. Okay, if I were to spend 2,000 silver worth, roughly in Fortnite, that gets me a quarter of my battle pass, which I still think is absurd.
Yeah,
I think that's still absurd to pay for.
I mean, it's $1 a rank.
Wild, $1 a level.
Yeah. I mean,
for 10 levels. I cannot imagine anybody is going to do this.
I mean, it's $1 a level anyway. I don't understand why this is like a thing. Like, it's $1 a level insane. Anyway.
I don't know. This is insane. I hate this. I hate everything about this. This is terrible. This is terrible. This looks horrible. Bungie, just, God, why? Why? We were just starting to say how Eververse was looking better, too. Why would you do this to me, man?
Were we, though? I mean,
I was. I 100% was. And this just is going to increase the calls, which I'm 100% on board with, of putting some silver in the season pass if you're going to pull this kind of shit.
Yeah. I mean, I still think
it's also not like Fortnite where I can go through and selectively pick my rewards either. Like, you are forced into, you have to claim them in order.
I think this should be I think in the season pass there should be enough silver in the season pass to purchase the next season, but if you're going to buy all 4 seasons, you get a discount at the beginning of the expansion, right?
I won't go that far. I do this is not a multi-billion-dollar company like Epic. Maybe Sony will let them change.
Somebody should tell Sony that.
Well, they are a multi-billion company. They're not bringing in billions of dollars annually off cosmetics alone. They're bringing in millions, not billions.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, that's
but this is absolutely wild. I don't understand this. I cannot possibly imagine why you would spend this amount of money for 10 levels of a battle pass that has no discernible benefits.
Plus, every week you get an XP bonus for your first 3 levels anyway.
Yeah, for your first 5, you get an XP bump. If you're just playing normally in a week, it is not uncommon to get 8 or 9 levels.
I mean, yeah, if you're playing normally. If you're playing, hardcore, most people do the first...
If you're playing as hard as, A1 Johnny and I go in on the first couple weeks of a season, we're done with the pass by, week 4.
I mean, I think after the first week of this season, I was at rank 20 after the first week.
I was at 42 going into the second week.
Yeah, so I mean,
now that is partially because I stocked up 10 levels worth of bounties.
Right.
I hit as many challenges as I could that first week. I finished the campaign. I did all my pinnacle activities.
Right,
I did all my weeklies.
That's the other thing. I would say every 3 seasonal challenges, you rank up 2 levels, I would say.
I don't know. It's just absolutely nuts that people are going to pay for this. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate this.
I don't.
This looks really bad. On a business model that people already don't like, this looks even worse.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not going to participate in it.
No, God, no.
This looks bad. But
I think 99% of us are just we're going to make fun of it. We're going to criticize it heavily like we are, and then we're going to move on with our lives. But this looks really bad on a storefront that has historically not been well received.
Right.
So, moving on to something a little bit more exciting, though. The Cosplay Cosmodrome is coming July 7th. What is the Cosplay Cosmodrome? It is 9 talented cosplayers showing off their skills as they attempt to put their own creative spin on the Moth Mom Savathun. Yeah, there is a whole there is a whole post about it that went up today. Some of the cosplay creators that are going to be working on them from across the world, including as far away as Australia and the UK. I'm excited to see how this goes. I think some of the cosplays that they show here are really, really cool. Especially the Hunter Trials armor is awesome. I am excited to see how this goes. We're going to see the final reveal of their Savathun cosplays on Bungie Day on July 7th, which also, coincidentally, Corey, I was adding up how our episodes fall. Our 100th episode of Tower Casuals will be recorded on Bungie Day.
Will it? No way.
It will fall exactly on Bungie Day.
Oh my God.
I kid you not. I kid you not. I was looking at it today.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So prepare for that. I forgot we had several weeks where we doubled up on episodes, so that like canceled out the breaks that we've taken.
Yeah.
100 episodes will fall exactly on Bungie Day.
My son is excited. I don't know if you heard that.
I did not hear that.
Oh, well. Man, that's so awesome. That's so cool.
I meant to mention that earlier, and I completely forgot until I saw the mention of Bungie Day.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's amazing. That's so... How did we do that? How did we do that? That's so cool.
I don't know, but that is just... Talk about the most uncanny coincidence.
Actually, you know what, Josh? I think 2 years ago when we started this show, we planned it out that way.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to take the win and just roll with it.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Of course, remember your Iron Banner tokens will be useless after Saladin leaves on the 17th. Your Etheric Spiral will be completely useless once the new season starts to turn those into Rahul for some Glimmer. The vendor rewards will reset, of course. And yeah, man, that is the end of our TWAB this week.
Nice.
Whew. It has been an absolute just heck of a Guardian games. I'm not hating it. I really like the strike scoring. I like that people were figuring out ways to cheese the score to over 1 million, so they had to do a hot fix. That is really funny.
Yeah, I saw that.
Rick Kakis, I think, had the best reaction to it. Players when they're or Destiny players when they're asked to actually play the game, and it was like a kid throwing a fit. That's kind of how I felt seeing the reactions to the hotfix on Tuesday morning. So, yeah. Wow. I'm excited to see what happens here. This ought to be real good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. There's some fun stuff coming up. It's the summer. A new season is about to start in 2 weeks. I am like making a summoning circle that we hear about Solar 3.0 next week because I'm getting really scared now. I am scared at the possibility of having to go into this season knowing nothing about the changes to the supers and having to just figure it out on the fly.
What if they're just like, we know you're expecting Solar, but here's the Arc 3.0.
I swear to God. Either one would just be terrible at this point because, like, if I go in not knowing what's happening with Solar, on one hand, I'd be really excited because I love discovering things in game, and we're gonna have a brand new dungeon that day. Like, the idea of trying to figure out Solar builds while we have a brand new dungeon in front of us is thrilling.
Yeah.
But if they pull a fast one and put Arc in, I'm going to be like, all right, Arc has to go on the back burner until I finish this stupid dungeon. Then I'll finally play around with the twirly stick again. As a hunter, Arc does nothing for me. They need to give me the spear for me to care about Arc.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I mean,
I have to have the spear from Psyops to care about Arc anymore.
I still need to go find the what's the chess piece for the Striker Titan. I still need to go get that.
Curious of the Falling Star?
Yeah. I just haven't gone to do those stupid things, you know. Like I just haven't gotten to go do them. So I don't know.
All right, Corey. Let's shift to Lore Corner.
Lore Corner.
We're gonna read the Guardian Games class items. We're gonna read 2 of them this week. We're gonna save the Titan mark for next week. They all kind of weave together to tell a story. We definitely have to read the Hunter one first, and then I think we should go to the Warlock one. But this one is the Metal Mantle. Your reputation precedes you like a disregarded warning. Prakash was relieving himself against the base of the tower when his bodyguard Tolnik gave a sharp whistle. The bookie hurriedly rearranged himself and whirled around to find a trio of hunters walking through the courtyard. Tolnik kept his eyes on the fire team while whispering from the side of his mouth, "You're still unzipped." Unzipped. Prakash scoffed. "Worry about them, not my..." Alphanus 2, good to see you, the bookie suddenly shouted in greeting as one of the hunters approached. Come to place a few more Ingrams on tonight's matches? The fire team leader rested his hand coolly on his sidearm. His compatriots lollygagged in the courtyard, juggling knives back and forth. Actually, I've come to call off our bets, Alphanus 2 said casually. Prakash furrowed his brow. Why's that? Not like you to miss the opening night of the games. The hunter shrugged. We got better odds elsewhere. Tolnick's eyebrows shot up. Prakesh's blinked slowly as if he'd been slapped. In the courtyard, the two hunters began to bicker. They flung their knives back and forth with increasing ferocity. Prakesh recovered and continued nonchalantly. Yeah, sure thing, Alfie. He tapped the datapad on his arm. There, all your bets are off. The hunter eased off his sidearm. Thanks, Kesh. Behind him, one of his teammates yowled as a knife pierced his thigh. Alphanus, too, rolled his eyes. What the hell are you idiots doing? He shouted over his shoulders. He stabbed me, the inter-hunter hollered. Not my fault you can't catch, his juggling partner smugly replied. The wounded guardian ripped the knife dramatically from his thigh and held it aloft. Shatter knife! He screamed as he launched himself at his assailant. The pair fell to the ground, wrestling over the bloody knife. Alphanus, too, dove into the fray, trying to break it up. Their ghosts materialized above them, shouting in tiny voices. Tolnick shook his head in disbelief as the trio rolled around on the ground, spamming one another with melee attacks. Prakash leaned over and muttered, Let's find out who's biting our business. We may need to send a message. Tolnick nodded slowly. I'm on it, boss. And we're just gonna go and launch straight into the second one. It's the Warlock Bond, the Metal Bond. Your reputation precedes you like a hint of perfume on the breeze. Prakash and his bodyguard Tolnick have been watching crowds of bettors come in and out of the Elixni Quarter for over an hour. Clearly, whoever was stealing their business was gaining momentum. The bookmarker spotted a fire team of warlocks wafting down the street like a perfumed breeze. He approached them with his most disarming smile. Hey, you guys are warlocks, right? Prakash feigned a slight bumpkin accent. Their leader, a shadebinder, held out his hand and summoned a shimmering crystal staff out of thin air. What tipped you off? He smirked. His teammates posed smugly behind him. It's your, fancy bracelets, Prakash replied, pointing to the warlock's arm. That's a Celestine bond, you goober, the posing Dawnblade sneered. Neat! I just got here from the farm, Prakash said, leaning into his plucky yokel act. I want to bet on the warlocks to win the Guardian games because you guys are obviously the toughest, most dangerous class. Behind him, Tolnick faked a coughing fit to hide a guffaw. You're smarter than you look, the Shanebinder sneered. The problem is, Prakash went on, I don't know where to place my bet. Do you know of any bookers around here? Dawnblade rolled her eyes. They're called bookies. Wow, Prakash replied. You guys are so sophisticated. Just show this to one of the fallen, the Shadebinder offered, and they'll point you in the right direction. He handed Prakash a scrap of paper. Now step aside, he continued. We have to meditate on the nature of unbeing before getting drunk tonight. The trio pushed past Prakash, floating their way toward the tower. The bookie made a rude gesture at the retreating fire team and walked back to Tolnick. They looked down at the calling card. It was worse than they feared. Emblazoned across the paper was the emblem of a big black spider. Spider has come to the tower, my friends.
Great.
This is surely going to come up. I wonder if they'll really hold this for next Guardian games, though. Surely they aren't going to hold this.
Look, I'm just glad the bookie is back.
The bookie was one of our favorite characters last season.
Yeah, he's the best. The bookie is the best. Now, is the bookie in cahoots with Spider? Here's the thing. Spider coming to the tower. I don't know.
Clearly, I think that whenever we get, and I mean, it could be as early as next season because we have no idea what next season is about. Whatever the next season featuring Mithrax is, it's a safe bet to assume Spider could be the boss of the dungeon.
I mean, he could, but man,
Spider
I don't know.
Clearly, still has a role to play in this story.
He does, but I don't think he's going to be some sort of boss. He seems kind of like almost like a mobster boss where, like, he doesn't really do anything. He makes all of his, henchmen do it. Tannix is there. Tannix is the boss of the dungeon.
Oh, my God. If Tannix is the boss of the dungeon, I quit. I absolutely quit.
Randall the Vandal and Tannix team up.
Randall and Taniks team up. I would quit.
No, you wouldn't.
That's disgusting. I would quit.
I want them to have some sort of like dumb joke raid at some point. Like maybe when like Destiny is like maybe after the final shape or something, and they're like it's like one last hurrah for Destiny 2 or whatever, and they make some dumb joke raid or something where it's like all the inside jokes make it into one raid.
That would be pretty great.
You know, like Taniks is clearly going to be the boss of the raid, or maybe he's the first boss and the second boss.
It's just all the like you have regular Taniks, you have Taken Taniks, you have Taniks from the Deepstone Crypt, and then you just have like his head as the final boss.
Yeah,
he's just like becomes sentient.
Yeah. And then that's like the opening of the raid is like you go through this whole raid and you think it's over, and then that's just like the first encounter is just the Taniks encounter.
Yeah, it could definitely be worse. I feel like we're careening towards the end of Spider's story, and they pretty clearly set it up the last couple seasons that it's going to intersect with Mithrax.
Yeah.
Because he's in direct opposition to what Mithrax is doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of wondering, you know, like, is he really going to step in as the leader of the Fallen that refused to come in under Mithrax because his criminal empire has been dismantled now, this and that, or is he going to like reluctantly or is he going to try to get the help of the Guardian, and we have to kind of strafe between working for Spider and working with Mithrax, kind of a forsaken situation. The enemy is my friend. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Who can say? You know?
Who can say? We might be able to in 2 short weeks.
Maybe.
Maybe. I think that's going to do it. Corey, take us away.
We have a question, Josh.
Oh my God, we do have a question. I can't believe I almost forgot the question.
We can't not answer the question.
Oh my God. Guys, I'm really out of it.
It's fine. It's all right,
so
Josh.
This question comes in from Andre, of course. He asked in his video this week, what would your top 3 quality of life changes be if you could make any 3 in Destiny? So I'm going to give you Andre's answers first. And I'm going to give you some time to think about these, Corey, because I think I have mine set out. Andre's he wanted a social space for Guardians, for your fire team, like Guardian apartment. We talked about Guardian apartments.
Yeah.
Totally on board with the idea. Number 2, give me a double finisher to do with my teammates. Feels like a no-brainer if you want to make that Eververse money in a way that's not as gross as buying 10 levels on the Battle Pass.
Mm-hmm.
And then give us some more vehicle options.
Oh yeah, vehicles for sure.
Like being able to ride like a space ATV or something.
Yeah.
What was his proposition? I definitely agree with 2 of these. So I'll go ahead. I'll give you some time to think, Corey. I'll give you a little bit of time to think on this. Social space is absolutely my number one.
Yeah.
I've said for a while, Guardian apartment. Let me show off my guns that are maybe vaulted. Let me put my mountaintop and my recluse up on the wall, you know, and when people inspect them, they can see the kill trackers on them, how many lifetime kills I got with those in, you know, modes. Let me hang up some mementos, kind of like you have in the ice hut on Europa. Let me keep Taniks's head instead of being in Elsie's little igloo. Let me put Taniks's head up above my bed.
Yeah.
That way I can always keep 2 eyes on him and make sure that he's actually dead. You know, let me earn, you know, instead of just earning like, oh, you got a Gambit memento and you can slap on a gun. Give me like a little mini, give me like a moat to put up on my shelf, or like a mini bank, or a little like snow globe with a primeval like dancing in it or something. Give me some of that stuff. Like, let me see my ship parked out there, have a garage with like my top 3 sparrows. You know, let me do something like that. Number 2, I'm going to agree with the double finisher. I would like to see the double finisher, just because I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally hit a finisher at the same time as a teammate, and it looks like we're doing a double finisher, and it's just not. I would really like that. But I think instead of a double finisher, I'd like to see team up supers. I would love for, you know, Johnny and I love comic books. We love Marvel Comics. We love the X-Men. I would love for him to be able to pick me up and just fling me. Let him do Colossus's fastball special. You know, let him throw me. Let a Warlock get like when I pull out my bow, let the warlock go like real small. Let me shoot the bow and arrow like it's Scott Lang riding in on Clint's arrow. Let me do something like that. Give me some double supers. Give me double supers before you give me double finishers. I feel like both of these are like no brainers. Maybe they don't work in the current game, but these got to be no brainers for down the line for Destiny. And I think number 3, it would be make all sparrows, I don't know, like the same speed or give them like unique stats, because right now it's just, and I get like, oh, it's just kind of all about like what looks the best. Like, give me more customization for sparrows. Give me sparrow horns back. Let me customize the trail behind my sparrow. I don't know, like, let me add like a sidecar if I want to. I don't know, let me customize them. Let me do sparrow and ghost and ship 3.0. I think those are probably the most essential things right now to me in terms of like changes I'd like to see made, like I guess for quality of life. I don't know if there's any others. Like, I mean, we've complained so much about Gambit rep in the past, and I think one of them absolutely would have been, let me keep my streak when I go to like Xur, or when I go run a couple lost sectors to get a specific exotic. Like, let me keep those. I would say XP gains from pinnacle sources need to be increased as well. That would actually probably be over like double supers or double finishers. I would probably put that in there, because it's pretty unacceptable that finishing a raid gets me like less XP than doing 3 or 4 bounties. That's pretty unacceptable to me. I feel like doing a raid, regardless of when you do it, should get you a couple of levels. That's a pinnacle activity as far as I'm concerned, and doing anything like that is like the top of the top of the top should be fixed. Like, I think like rep gains across the board really need to be looked at. I don't like the trial system at all. I think it's really punishing to those who aren't like really good. And it's funny because those are the people who like are probably just playing this to get the weapons. They're playing this to get a handful of Ingrams, get the weapons, things like that. It is really just discouraging, though. If you're not playing during double trials XP, there's almost no point to playing if you're not a hardcore PvP fan. And usually by the time double XP rolls around, all the casuals are done because we've all either gotten burned out or we managed to get like our 6 or 7 Ingrams and bail out for the season. That's a pretty frustrating place to be at, I think, as a player. And as someone who like really, really, really wants to enjoy this mode, I've complained about trials pretty extensively, though. I don't want to dwell on trials or on Gambit anymore. Crucible obviously is getting revamped here pretty soon, with however survival is going to work out. Iron Banner's getting some much needed changes. Like a lot of the changes that we would talk about have probably already been addressed. So I don't mind focusing on like the funner ones, but there are like, when it comes to XP and reputation gains, like there are still things that really need to be looked at in the game, and that would be a massive improvement for quality of life as far as I'm concerned. Corey, what would your 3 quality of life changes be?
All right, yeah. Sorry, my daughter was screaming for me.
You're good.
She pooped. She wanted to let me know that she pooped.
Wonderful.
So now that the entire internet knows.
Yes.
Let's see, 3 quality of life changes. So this is kind of a joke one, but kind of not. I kind of want to be able to redesign my Guardian on the fly, like
a Guardian barbershop.
Yeah, let's get that in there.
Let's
man.
give Hawthorne something valuable to do.
Yeah, I mean, she's just chilling there with her bird, right? I mean,
the bird is the barber.
Oh God. So like I kind of want that, just because like my Guardian is ugly. I'm gonna be honest. The helmet stays on for reasons other than because the helmet looks cool. Because as a Titan, there's only like 3 helmets that look cool. So I would like to see more. I don't know, like more. I know we have like the transmog stuff going on. I would like to see more universal ornaments and quests. I think I don't know if you mentioned that at all or not, but like I just feel like I feel like there's more you could do in terms of like ornaments and glows and remember when like
I'd like to see more of that earnable in game rather than be in the Eververse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would
think
like
you gotta walk a fine line. I think like I totally understand. Hey, you need to make money.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make money to keep the servers running. And listen, a million of us buying a $60 expansion doesn't go as far as you might think. Sony money isn't going to fund you forever. Like,
Yeah.
you have to make other income, and that's where the microtransactions come in. They make infinitely more there than they do off the game. And I don't mind things like the goofy, the goofy Gundam style armor being made available.
Yeah.
But why not use the extra resources to make the other set available in game?
Yeah. That's
earnable, or vice versa.
Yeah. I would like to see that.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Other things, I mean, we've talked about Gambit so much that it's just like, man.
I kind of tried to shy away from that, but it's really hard to not realize that like a massive reputation overall has to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, but I mean, again, I would also like something where like, the showing off what you've done in the game, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, it's cool. You can maybe hang up your guns like you can in Breath of the Wild when you build that house. You can hang up weapons and shields and stuff, like something like that. But also like, oh well, I completed Valve's Disciple on Master whenever that happens, right? And like, oh, here's Rolk's glaive that he murdered us with, or his shoes, his giant, sassy boots that he steps on everybody with, right? Like, have those there and be like, hey, here's what I've done, but here's a cool way to display it, instead of just like, oh, here's another emblem that I can wear. So
I'm a little tired of just getting emblems for things.
Yeah,
let me get more. I hesitate to say, oh, just give us more cosmetics, give us more ghosts and ships and sparrows. I have enough of those. Like,
yeah,
it's like what I've talked about with Joe. I already have my set stuff that I like to use to take something really exceptional to unseat those, or my emblems or anything like that.
Right.
Let me earn shaders through the game instead of through Eververse.
Right.
Make those unlockables in game. I should not have to pay for shaders.
No.
I should not have to give up 300 bright dust. I don't know why you increased it from 40 to 300. That is asinine, first off. That's highway robbery. But I don't know why we can't earn that in-game. Like, I'm fine with there being armor. I'm fine with there being, an armor set. I'm fine with there being exotic ornaments and exotic armor ornaments in there, and ships and things like that. Emotes, cool. Let's get some emotes earnable in-game. Let's get some emotes available in game. Some fun ones, like maybe when you finish a seal, you get a special exotic emote for that.
Right, or like the remember when they re-released Vault and you could buy that package with the chair, right? The Vault chair.
I have never taken that emote off.
Yeah, I mean, why would you sell that? Why can't you like have a different version in the raid?
I honestly can't believe that was not attached to like Master Bog.
Yeah, like why can't you put that in the raid to be earnable and say, hey, look, this is what I got for completing the raid, and then everybody sits in their chair when they complete the raid and take your group photo and share it. Like, that's cool. But
yeah, instead they saw us as easy marks, and they got I don't know. I think it was like a $15 pack or something.
Yeah.
They got like $75 out of my day one team. So on one hand, I kind of see why they're not letting me just unlock it in game.
Yeah.
But they did this with Menagerie a few years ago. You got the X marks the spot emote. And that was the only way you could ever get it, was by getting to the highest level of Menagerie. And I think you had to get to like level 70 or something with Callus. I don't remember what you had to do. Yeah. You had to do something absurd. Johnny is the only person I've ever met who has that emote and did not glitch to get it.
Yeah.
I could not be bothered to get enough tributes to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But I think that's a cool bragging right. I would like more things like that. I don't know, like that would maybe get me into game. Like maybe like make the ornaments for the seasonal weapon quests, but like for your second reset, you can earn a legendary emote or something. Like there's some special emote or a finisher related to the activity that you're doing. Like how cool would it be if like you had a finisher for Gambit, for example, like you sit there and you're like juggling motes and then bam, 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 like you throw them like snowballs really rapid, like Elf.
Or
when
like
Buddy the Elf throws the snowball super fast, like do that but with motes.
Or like the season of the Risen, like you go through and do all that crap and you get the spear as like a finisher, right?
Oh, that'd be awesome. I mean, we've seen stuff like this before, so don't tell me it's not possible. I would absolutely love to see that, or finishers, emotes. Let me unlock some of this stuff in game. And I'm not saying like, oh, you always have to do that. Just change it up a little bit occasionally. Like one season you do that, another season you earn a special, because we've seen it done before. Give me a special universal ornament. You did it for the anniversary pack. Do it again. Let us unlock. I don't know. Hypothetically, in the future, let us unlock Shax's helmet or something.
Yeah, I mean that'd be super cool. Like, even if it's an ornament for like.
Or like Zavala's shoulder pads or something.
I mean, I think like, honestly, like, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but like when those characters are gone, like if they die somehow, like give us those ornaments for, like give us something cool.
Yeah. I completely agree. I think that these are no-brainer moves.
Mm-hmm. Like when these characters that you love, like, let us dress up as them, right? We just talked about cosplay, the Cosmodrome cosplay for a while. Yeah. Like, let us dress up as these characters.
I mean, like, so I really, for example, and I got just like kind of as a final addendum, there's an emote in the season pass this season that is Savathun.
Yeah,
it's the Savathun emote. Why is that not like? And I'm not criticizing. I think it's cool that it's in the season pass. You always give us an emote in the season pass. It's always an exotic one. I would have loved if that was a reward for finishing the campaign on Legendary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Give me a Savathun finisher or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you sprout wings and you fly in and kill.
Yeah.
Or something, regardless of who you are. It's a universal finisher.
Yeah.
An exotic universal finisher would be cool. There's so many things you can do. I mean, there's so many unique things that you can do. Like, let me unlock a special exotic class item or something from doing certain things. We had those for the factions in Destiny 1. Let me earn those for certain feats that I've done. Like, oh, you beat a raid on Master? Here's a special glow that appears whenever you wear your class item.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do like the things that they've been doing with Guardian games where if you are the top scoring person for the Nightfall for that week, on the competitive Nightfall over the weekend, and you are the top scoring person in your tower instance, you are glowing gold. There's a big gold beam coming out from underneath you.
Oh,
and the second someone else loads in with a better score than you, it transfers to them automatically. I think that's really cool. They used to give us, the flames for doing the Nightfall. I'd really like to see that. Like, oh, you completed the Grandmaster this week? Here you go. Yeah. Here's like a glowing Savathun crown or something.
Right.
That you wear in the tower. Like to show that, like, oh, that guy fucks.
Yeah. Or doesn't, because he spends so much time. No, I'm just kidding.
That's true. That's absolutely true. But anyway, the long and the short of it, yeah, give us a lot more cosmetic unlocks in game, not bright dust.
Yeah.
I don't mind the bright dust, but give me some stuff in game.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of it, I think.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, I think they've done a lot of great quality of life things over the years, especially like being able to choose where you want to go from anywhere in the game. Remember in Destiny 1 when you had to go to the orbit to go wherever you wanted to go? That was awful. I mean, like,
so many of the obvious quality of life things I think have already been addressed. Now we're talking like more vanity than anything, I think. Vanity requests than quality of life. But yeah, I mean, a more cosmetic unlockables, and you're shifting in the right direction with these events. I want to be abundantly clear. You're definitely getting there, but man, I
think one other thing on certain planets, like I would like to see more fast travel points. Just because, like, I mean that's kind of just being lazy at this point, though.
And I hesitate to say that about some of the older planets because I feel like they may not be around any longer. Like, I think the EDZ has more than enough fast travel points. Nessus has plenty. Like, Europa, remember how we had to cry and scream to get the one up in Eventide Ruins? Yeah. I still think you should have put one up in Reese Reborn with how many times we had to go there. The moon has 2. I guess you could probably put one in the Hellmouth.
Yeah.
And keep the one in Sorrow's Harbor, and obviously at Sanctuary. Throne World absolutely needs another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It needs another one. I would say probably in like the back of the fluorescent canal. You
Yeah.
probably need one back there. Maybe even like back in Queens Bailey.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, and it's these little things, right?
Yeah.
Especially in an area that a lot of the throne world is not very sparrow friendly.
Right.
Like the outer portions are, but when there's so many different pathways and secret passages and things like that, like I do think it makes it really hard to determine where you need to go when so much of it is underground, or like it's like a 10-minute hike without a sparrow.
Right.
Good luck remembering where you're going without a guide.
Right.
I've had to consult guides and maps, and that's kind of silly. I feel like I played this game enough to know where I'm going, and I definitely have no idea where I'm going in the Throne World still.
Yeah.
It's the first zone that's ever truly baffled me in Destiny. Titan was a close second. Titan was pretty bad at times.
Yeah. It's gone now, so.
Yeah, it's gone. Like, fuck Titan. Who cares about Titan? The Dreaming City could definitely stand another one.
Yeah.
Up in like Ray Silver or something. Up there, like where you start the Corrupted Strike.
Yeah.
You could definitely stand to get one up there. I don't know. There's.
Yeah.
And those are things that I feel should be obvious, but I don't know if it's server limits or like distribution limits of like people and of players, and like, you know, you've got 3 distinct zones. Maybe that's like too little to qualify for a second one. But if that's the case, then maybe we need to expand to like 4 major zones just so we can get another fast travel zone.
Right.
In the future. I don't know.
Yeah.
Corey, if that's it.
That's it.
Get us out of here.
That's all I got.
Get us out of here. Let's go. Get us out of here.
I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to Tower Casuals. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Tower Casuals. You can email the show at towercasuals@gmail.com. Get us your questions. We love them. We want them. We want to answer them. A lot of you Guardians have been sticking around, you newer Guardians. We really appreciate you guys listening. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star rating and review. It really helps out the show. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to watch us in video. Check out Lore Corner by itself. Josh, thank you for your time tonight. Where can we find you?
Twitter, at Josh_Finn, 2 N's. Always.
Always.
Tune in to see me probably crying live about the Mavs sucking it up.
Oh, come on. They're not doing that bad.
I'm pretty upset.
Sorry, Josh.
Yeah.
At least you have viable sports teams.
That's true.
You can find me at IamCoreyNHD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me at a plethora of other things here on the internet. But that's it. Time to go. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.